Could you imagine a world where the top
Who the
one...
hell is that?
Could you imagine a world where the
Is
top...
this sexy?
Could you imagine...
Oh, it's his eyes. It's the eyes. He has nice eyes. Compass.
Imagine a world where the top 1%...
He puts stuff on screen throughout the video because he doesn't want you to say it out loud, so be ready.
The elites of our society, the ruling class, the ones who run the government and are pulling the strings behind everything, are secretly involved in some of the most depraved things that you could ever possibly imagine. I'm getting a feeling of deja vu. I feel like I've heard this story before somewhere. Nowadays, that might not be that hard to believe, but back in 2016, this was something that was unfathomable to most people. How's it going, everyone? Welcome or welcome back. My name is Chase, and today we're talking about PizzaGate. So when PizzaGate started gaining traction during the heated 2016 election cycle on places like Poll, 4chan's political board, it wasn't hard to initially dismiss the whole thing as nothing more than a crazy alt-right conspiracy. But I think it's worth revisiting the theory in modern times, especially in light of recent events. Let me say first and foremost that I have no political bias here, and all I care about is the evidence that has been presented. My goal is not to convince you that PizzaGate is real, nor is it to disprove it. All I'm here to do is present to you the theory as a whole and all the supporting evidence, and then you can come to your own conclusions.
I hate when niggas say shit like that because it makes me want to believe him, gang. Fuck. Fuck, bro. GG. That's how I know shit gets serious, gang. When they word it like that, yo, dead ass, just showing you the facts. Not giving my opinion, just putting this in front of you. You make your own opinion. Cause like, damn. If you just presented facts, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
I'll also note here that I've spent over a month going down this rabbit hole, and every mainstream source is so quick to say that it's debunked and there's no truth behind it at all, but I haven't seen a single one of them actually debunk any of the evidence. But you should obviously take, but I haven't seen a source is so quick to say that it's debunked and there's
BBC News.
No truth behind it at all, but I haven't seen a single one of them actually debunk.
Is that Bigfoot?
Any of the evidence. But you should obviously take their word for it because they probably have hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars even, and I'm just a little chud in my room sitting at my computer, so I'm sure they just have more information that I don't and no one else does for some reason.
No,
Your discretion, of course. We're going to be talking about some dark shit here, so if you don't want to watch that, this is not the video for you. That all said, I hate to say it, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get right into it. PizzaGate sparked in 2016 when WikiLeaks published over 20,000 emails from the inbox of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman during her presidential run. Immediately after these leaks were published, people online began scanning these emails line by line, finding many strange references and jokes that sparked suspicion that there was something more going on here. Before we go over some of these emails, it's important to note here that while the interpretations of the coded language within the emails is unsubstantiated, the emails themselves are completely legitimate. The Podesta emails were reviewed and confirmed to be authentic by multiple US intelligence agencies, including the CIA, FBI, and the NSA, which is the National Security Agency. So while the interpretations of these emails can be debated, nobody is disputing the authenticity of the emails themselves. Of course, I can't talk about all 20,000 emails here, and most of them are mundane and irrelevant to what we're here to talk about today, but here are a few of the most notable ones that helped fuel the initial theory. One of the first emails that really caught people's attention was sent by Susan Sandler, a philanthropist and political donor who did donate to Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign run, to John Podesta. The email reads, "Hi John, the realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems pizza related. Is it your ruse? They can send it if you want."
Yoru don't use handkerchiefs. And they nerfed his ult. He can't throw a flash or a clone out the ult no more, gang. Yoru don't got nothing to do with this shit. Leave your own name out your fucking mouth, nigga. And shout out Exter. He's on a Pro 1 tier as a Yoru 1 trick. Tier 1 team, I mean, as a Yoru 1 trick.
I know you're busy, so feel free not to respond if it's not yours or you don't want it. I just came from checking the field house, and I have a square cloth handkerchief, white with black, that was left on the kitchen island. Happy to send it via mail if you let me know where I should send it. It's not hard to see why this would catch people off guard. What is a map that seems pizza related on a handkerchief? What the fuck does that even mean? Well, coincidentally, the handkerchief code is a color-coded system that people use to communicate their interests and pleasures non-verbally. Different colors relate to different acts or things that people are into, and I will not—
Chat, anything that you think is a reach, say it. I don't know if this is a reach, gang. Because if he wasn't referred to that, what could he be talking to, dude?
On a handkerchief. What the fuck does that even mean? Guard. What is a map that seems pizza related on a handkerchief? What the fuck does that even mean? Well, coincidentally, the handkerchief code is a—
what? One on left, one on right. Expert cocksucker wants head. 69er top 69. Wait, cop. What's a cop sucker? Loves to fuck. Cock and ball torture for teal blue. Fist fucker. Loves to get fisted. Dildo fucky. Dildo fucker. Tit torturer, tit torturer, two-handed fister, two-handed fisty, loves to pierce. What the fuck does that mean? Likes to get pierced, loves to lick pits, loves his pits licked, pisser, piss freak, spits, loves to be spit on, wants a big... Yo, okay. In what situation are niggas wearing this shit? What the fuck are you talking about? Comes in scumbag. What's a scumbag? Sucks it out. What's a scumbag? And how do they know about this? Okay. My one question. What is this handkerchief code? Where did it come from? Is this some made up shit for these emails, or has this been a thing? Has a handkerchief code been a thing? It's been? You're wearing red. Nigga, it's a red shirt.
Color-coded system that people use to communicate their interests and pleasures non-verbally. Different colors relate to different acts or things that people are into, and I will not elaborate farther on that. If it's that important to you, you can look that up on your own time. These people are like old boomers, so maybe they just communicate differently and they have some dementia going on. But again, what is a pizza-related map? What even is that? Another email that caught people's attention was sent to John Podesta by Herbert Sandler, who was at the time a co-CEO of Golden West Financial Corporation, a major political donor to the Clinton campaign. Now Herbert Sandler—
Hold on, chat. Why do niggas... I know it doesn't matter. Like, the police want to find your shit, they gonna get your shit, but why was niggas emailing? Like, it's not like this was 2000... Like, why didn't niggas just text shit? Or was it that old? Was shit that old when texting wasn't like comp? Like, what? Old people. Bro, even in 2016, though, like... Or is that just when the emails were caught? This was 2013. Bro, you're saying like 2013 is the fucking 90s, gang. They're old. Gang, my fucking 60-year-old grandma was texting me. Oh, white people, easier to get email probably. They think it's secure. Oh.
is burning in hell. I'm joking. Rest in peace, Herbert Sandler. I'm sure he did nothing wrong at all. Mary and John, I think you should give notice when changing strategies which have been long in place. I immediately realized something was different by the shape of the box, and I contemplated who would be sending me something in the square-shaped box. Lo and behold, instead of pasta and wonderful sauces, it was a lovely, tempting assortment of cheeses. Yummy. I'm awaiting the return of my children and grandchildren from their holiday travels so that we can demolish them. Thank you so much. I hope you and your gang are well. I miss you both. Best wishes, Fro, a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Herb. P.S. Do you think I'll do better playing dominoes on cheese than pasta?
What the fuck? Wait. Okay. I'm trying to give these fucks the most. I'm not, because I'm like, let me try to give the benefit of the doubt here. So at first I'm like, okay, maybe these are just some weird rich white people shit. They just like cheese, I guess, and eating cheese with their grandchildren and children. But what the fuck is? Do you think I'll do better playing dominoes on cheese than on What the hell does that even mean?
P.S. Do you think I'll do better playing dominoes on cheese than pasta? The thing that stood out as weird to people is that last line. It's just worded in such a strange way. People don't typically refer to eating something as being on something. People online began theorizing that cheese and pasta and these terms used for food were actually code word for something else. That something else being kids. And I know that's quite the leap in logic to make, but it's not the—
And let's say all this shit was fake. I don't think it'll be that hard to refute. Like, let's just say something like our lingo chat. And niggas like, oh my god, this nigga saying comp and GG and all his text messages. Gang, you stupid fuck. GG means this, and you can see history of me saying GG to other people in this type of context. You dumb fuck. Like, it would be as easy as that. Would it not be? It could be drug code words too. Yo, gang, I much be rather labeled as nigga fucking doing drugs than a fucking baby eating fucking—
the only example of strange references to food in these emails. Like this email sent from Tony Podesta, John Podesta's brother, would love to get a pizza for an hour. Like again, Tony Podesta, John Podesta's brother, would love—
Yo, Italy gang, they playing with y'all niggas, bro. Sue them niggas, gang. They jacking your swag and using it for the wrong reasons, gang.
to get a pizza for an hour. Like again, what does that mean? If we're just talking about lunch, that is not a normal way to say that. Imagine your friend gets a hold of you and they say, hey dude, you want to go get a pizza for about an hour? Like what? What does that mean? This one is in a long chain of emails, so I'll spare you from me reading the entire thing, but the part that stood out to people here was Bonnie will be Uber service to transport Ruby, Emerson, and Maeve Lozado. 11, 9, and almost 7, so you'll have some farther entertainment, and they will be in that pool for sure. Excuse me? What? That obviously sounds really bad, and unfortunately there's no context that makes it sound any better. And it just gets weirder because there's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down with this woman. Reportedly, Lozado ran a website known as Evie's Crib, which was kind of like a blog. It's hard to confirm because as soon as people started talking about this, it was removed almost immediately, but if this blog is real, it looks really bad. The website apparently featured many pictures of Lozado around young children, including her step-granddaughter, Evie. The header of the website reads, Evelyn is growing up. Soon she will be the queen of the entire US of A. Right now, for a limited time only, you can spend some time with her online.
Huh? The fuck is that? What are you talking about?
Raw and uncut. Take advantage of this now, as in the future she will have the power of life and death over you. First of all, why are people spending time online with your granddaughter at all? And then raw and uncut, that is just a really weird way to describe that. Whoever was running this website categorized these posts with labels so you can find exactly what you're looking for easily. Posts were labeled under categories such as psychopath.
Yo, bro. Bro, what?
Evil white bitch, filth, malpractice, discomfort, manipulation, and Ambien.
Please.
Sorry.
Ambien, for those who don't know, is a prescription drug that is classified as a hypnotic and is used to treat insomnia short term. One of the side effects of Ambien is that it wipes your memory. Many people have no recollection of anything else that occurred or what they did after dosing. Why would that be a category on this blog that she apparently uses to post pictures of her children and grandchildren? That's really anyone's best guess. Another picture on this blog shows a baby after bath time, and while not inherently sinister, it's definitely a little bit weird even though you can't see anything. But the caption here is what really stands out. It ends with, unrated version of this photo available only to premium subscribers.
This better be like a cap site, bro.
At the absolute best, if this website is real, which again I can't confirm,
killed.
This is an incredibly weird and tasteless joke to make. This is something that I feel uncomfortable even saying right now. The last email we'll cover for right now is sent by Maria Abramovich to Tony Podesta and later forwarded to his brother John Podesta. Google describes Abramovich as a conceptual performance artist who has pushed the boundaries of performance art as a visual art form since the 1970s.
Okay.
Personally, I would just say that she's a freak, but anything is art, right? Dear Tony, I am so looking forward to the spirit cooking dinner at my place.
Sit these motherfuckers down and force them to explain every single sentence, and it has to make sense. What is so hard about that? What do you mean spirit cooking?
Do you think you will be able to let me know if your brother is joining? All my love, Marina. Marina Abramovich. I think I called her Maria a second ago, but anyways, it seems innocent enough at first glance. But what is spirit cooking? I mean, probably just some unconventional or traditional way of cooking if I had to guess, but it actually turns out that's not what it is at all.
That is
You
not
see,
what it is.
Spirit cooking is an art form or occult ritual invented by Abramovich, inspired by the idea that ghosts feed off of intangible things like light, sound, and emotion. For this reason, her recipes involve things like evocative instructions for actions and thoughts, and bodily fluids. A few excerpts from her cookbook are as follows. With a sharp knife, cut deeply into your middle finger of your left hand, eat the pain. Look in the mirror for as long as it is necessary for your face to disappear. Don't eat the light. A moment ago, I referred to spirit cooking as an art project or an occult ritual, and I wasn't being facetious. This is how Abramovich.
Rage, brother, be careful, man. These are deep waters, nigga. They gonna have to take all of us, nigga. Right, chat? Right? They can't take us all on, right? Yo, you come from me. You come from every single person in this chat. The free thinkers. They're in this chat knowing they're at risk. Their IP address is saved. The higher ups, the FBI, if they wanted to, they could find everybody fucking details in this fucking chat right now, but they don't care because they stand with me. If I go, they go. And they will fight. They'll throw their fucking life on the line. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about their life more than they care about the fucking truth. Talking about some deep waters. If I die, chat dies. Let me get an amen and let me get a fax in the chat. We got a fucking fax in the chat. Preach.
Herself views her work. In an AMA on Reddit, Marina says herself that the context is what makes something art or not. Quote, everything depends on which
Wait, what? In case of investigation by any federal entity or I do not have any involvement with this group. Chat, chill. Chat, chill. Chat. Stop playing. Come on. Chat, stop playing. Come on. Let's lock in here. Stop fucking around. Chat, stop fucking around. Let's lock in here. Why is my mods typing? Why is first time chatters typing this shit?
Context, you are doing what you are doing. If you are doing the occult magic in the context of art or in a gallery, then it is art. If you are doing it in a different context, in spiritual circles or private house or on TV shows, it is not art. The intention, the context for what it is made and where it is made defines what art is or not. So in her own words, they are doing an occult ritual. If you're curious to see this spirit cooking, you can find a video online of Abramovich giving one of these artistic performances herself as demonstration. The video shows Abramovich writing phrases from her cookbook on a wall in pig's blood and then dousing the statue of a small child in it. Now, of course, there's no way to say for sure if John Podesta attended this spirit cooking event or not, but coincidentally, in photographs from around that time, John Podesta can be seen with a band-aid on his left hand's middle finger. And people online have also mentioned that his hands, and particularly his fingers, are awfully scarred, as if they've been deeply wounded repeatedly. But I'm sure that's unrelated. Clearly, these are really bad.
I'm not so sure, nigga. Who sure? Nah, that's related as fuck. I ain't retarded. That's related as shit. Why isn't that related? Go back.
That his hands, and particularly his fingers, are awfully scarred, as if they've been deeply wounded repeatedly. But I'm sure that's unrelated. Clearly, these are really bad optics, and we've already. But I'm sure that's unrelated. Clearly, these are, if they mentioned, seen with a band-aid. Incidentally, in photographs from around that time, John Podesta can be seen with a band-aid on his left hand's middle finger. And people online have also mentioned that his hands, and particularly his.
Go back more. The ritual wall. Oh, I already read that shit. Bro, I'm not saying this shit out loud. So you want me to read this shit out loud? I'm not saying this shit out loud, gay. I already saw this shit. Shit like some shit is scary. I don't even want to look at it, bro. Gay, this shit's scary to look at, bro. This is some demon. This is some demon shit. Huh?
And then dousing the statue of a small child in it. Now, of course, there's no.
So they getting bowls, putting their fucking middle finger blood, nutting in this shit, mixing it up and yo, these motherfuckers. Yo, get them going. They're
way
sick.
To say for sure if John Podesta attended this spirit cooking event or not, but coincidentally, in photographs from around that time, John Podesta can be seen with a band-aid on his left hand's middle finger. And people online have also mentioned that his hands, and particularly his fingers, are awfully scarred, as if they've been deeply wounded repeatedly. But I'm sure that's unrelated. Clearly, these are really bad optics, and we've already reached a point where the absolute best case scenario is that these people are involved in the occult and are doing blood rituals in private. People who are powerful, ruling class members of society are being invited to, in private, perform ceremonies and worship old world gods.
Why do the strong niggas? Why do niggas with power gotta be the fuck ass weird niggas, gang? Let it be the fucking like oh my god. Jesus Christ, bro.
Gods like Moloch and Baal, but more on that in a second. Ceremonies and worship of society are being invited to, in private, perform ceremonies and worship old world gods like Moloch and Baal, but more on that in a second. This is where James Alefantis and his world famous pizza come in, and it only gets weirder. So,
Jesus Christ.
Who is James Alefantis? Well, he's an entrepreneur who owns Comet Ping Pong, a pizza restaurant located in Washington, D.C., and also a location that was frequently mentioned.
Ask yourself, why FaZe moved to LA from Miami? Ask yourself why FaZe Banks wears black so much. Ask yourself why FaZe is... Hey. Notice the only nigga that stayed in Miami when everybody moved to LA. Just saying. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
in the Podesta emails. He's also one of the most powerful and influential people in the nation that you've never heard of. Despite being nothing more than a restaurant owner, GQ listed him as one of the 50 most powerful people in Washington in an article published in 2012. GQ writes,
Jay-Z dancing with the woman that be doing the blood shit, that sent that email, lady that sent that email. Gang, that bitch is not normal, gang. She's not even dancing. What the fuck is this? This is like a ritual. Or are they filming a movie scene or a music video? What is it? Because these are like music video cameras. This is like a script. Now let's not be stupid though. What is this? Is this a music video? But why is this bitch in it though? Why is her of all people in it? Why her? I'm not really worried about how it looks because it's a music video. You just do whatever the fuck. I'm worried about why are these two together? How does, like, what is her purpose? Why her?
Rage, listen, man. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. This has been the reality for years. Even the Bible speaks about it in John 5:19. The wicked one, aka Satan.
First of all, that's a bar. First of all, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's crazy. Five years ago. 12. This lady is a witch. Look up her name and what she believes in. It will shock you. It almost scared me. I feel bad for people who fall for this
Rage,
crap.
you not ready?
Think
This
it's
video
art.
gets insane.
What?
Have you seen the Gmail website you can go to?
The what?
Liberal 20-somethings in khakis drink beer and eat pizza at
Hey man, I saw that you work at Little Caesars. Just know bro, you don't have to LARP owning a Rolls Royce. Just go back to the trench and drive your Hellcat, dude. It's going to be alright. Thumbs up emoji.
Alefantis owned Comet Ping Pong. More established progressives wine and dine next door.
What the fuck is that link? Or I see a picture of a little girl, but it could be someone's baby photo that they sent. But I don't know, it's black and white. Why are some of these not attached anymore? There's no thumbnail. Oh, I clicked one and it downloaded to my computer. It's saved to my. What do I do? 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 I thought I was gonna open it. I thought it was gonna be big. Oh my God! Get me out! 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 How do I'm deleting this shit. Yo, that's bad. Yo. Why did it automatically download to my shit? In case of investigation. Yo, in case of investigation, I just want to let you know. If you want to take me down, you got to take down the whole fucking chat. They give me money monthly because of how much they support me in this. So if you want to take me down, you got to take all of us down.
or at Alefantis-owned Buck's Fishing Camping. Alefantis is also the board president of Transformer, the contemporary art gallery that shamed the Smithsonian for removing an installation offensive to right-wingers. When it comes to DC radical chic, Alefantis is unsurpassed. If you don't know him, you aren't wearing your scarf right.
Wait, whoa, hold on, let's really go back.
Listed him as people in Washington in an article published in 2012. GQ writes, liberal 20-somethings in khakis drink beer and eat pizza at Alefantis-owned Comet Ping Pong. More established progressives wine and dine next door at Alefantis-owned Buck's Fishing Camping. Alefantis is also the board president of Transformer, the contemporary art gallery that shamed the Smithsonian for removing an installation offensive to right-wingers. When it comes to DC radical chic, Alefantis is unsurpassed. If you don't know him, you aren't wearing your scarf right. So basically, this restaurant owner is the pretentious king of the woke. And if you're left-wing and you don't know who James Alefantis is,
Fuck is that?
you must not be wearing your scarf right. Get out of my pizza shop, you peasant. When it comes to radical chic in DC,
His face do look familiar, right? Is he
undefeated. Anyways,
like,
if
famous?
this guy is one of the 50 most powerful people in our nation's capital, he must make some pretty good pizza or have
Yeah,
connections
the
somewhere
fuck?
else, right? Well, James Alefantis is a gay man who was involved in a relationship with David
what?
Brock, who was chief of is a
Epstein
gay
worked
man
for
who was
Israel.
involved in a
He was Mossad adjacent. Also GG. That link bugged your computer and they're watching.
What?
Wait.
Israel worships Baal and Malak. Israel got upset when Iran burned the Baal statue.
Huh? Is that facts or they just chatted? Like 100% facts. Like, I got the heebie-jeebies, gang. Generally, I have the heebie-jeebies, bro. I did got the heebie-jeebies, bro. What the fuck? Hold on. Let's keep watching. though.
powerful people in our nation's capital, he must make some pretty good pizza.
Yeah, how is he
or
one of the
have
most powerful
connections somewhere
people?
else, right? Well, James Alefantis is a gay man who was involved in a relationship with David Brock, who
Okay.
was chief of media
Splat Walker, what the 20 gifted subbers. Splat Walker. Hey, yo, chat, and I'm gonna let you know if YouTube demonetizes this or makes it extra weird for us to get paid for this video or even lets it go public. I'm dead ass. Let's see. Hey, Caleb, keep me updated. Hey, update. Tell me how long this takes to get through passing and testing and shit.
Matters, a major media organization tied to the Democratic Party, until he left Media Man who was involved in a relationship with David Brock, who was chief of Media Matters, a major media organization
Okay.
tied to the
I don't care if
Democratic
they're
Party,
gay, but-
until he left in 2022. David Brock also founded Correct the Record,
Splat
a
with
super
another
PAC
10
created in
gifted.
2016.
Thank you, Honey Boo Boo Bears of a CC. But it does. It's important because that's his partner. Splat, they for the 10 gifted gang. Love you, gang.
To support the Clinton campaign. At a surface level, this doesn't seem that weird, and
Right.
it does help explain some of the political power and influence
That
that
Jim
James
got.
Alefantis has. But
Top
then
50 is
people
crazy,
found
though.
his Instagram account, at Jimmy Comet. And
Okay.
as you can probably
Whoa,
guess,
what- oh, okay.
it only gets weirder. We'll start with this picture that he had up on his Instagram showing a young child being held in a man's arms. Nothing wrong with that, but the caption of this picture is #chickenlovers.
This is his Instagram? How do we know this? What is this account? The fuck is this? This is the account of a top 50 person. This is his account. Like 100%. First of all, why are you following more people than got followers? Why do you have 780? There's no way this actually is an account. It's not verified or nothing? Yo, Tay is live with the 30 gifteds. Splat with the yo, y'all going crazy, gang. Y'all going so bad. My lovers. My lovers.
At Jimmy Comet. And as you can probably guess, it only gets
How do we know
weirder.
this is his
We'll start
account?
with this picture that he had up on his Instagram showing a young child being held in a man's arms.
Someone
Nothing
confirmed
wrong
to
with
me somehow
but
that this is
the
actually his
caption
account,
of this
and I'm
picture is
sold.
#chicken lovers. Chicken lover
185 weeks ago too. Like, why would some random account?
is well-known coded
Post that.
language that was used in the 1994 documentary film Chicken Hawk that focuses on homosexual relationships with a documentary film. Lover is well-known coded language is #chicken lovers. Chicken lover is well-known coded language that was used in the 1994 documentary film Chicken Hawk that focuses on homosexual relationships with a large age gap. An age gap so large that it makes the relationship itself criminal. There's also this image that appears to be of a walk-in cooler being referred to as the kill room in the comments. Alefantis captioned this picture, "Oh yeah, this looks fun," and then he went into the comments under his own post and wrote #murder.
Okay, this seems too okay. How do we know that this is shit, though, gang? Like, this don't make no sense. It's like a fucking like a nigga really trying to hide this shit. They're not posting this on Instagram, bro. That's some drool shit. Like, what? It is, bro. You weren't there in 2020, dude. What does that mean? I'm stuck on this. I'm not gonna let it go. How do we know that this is his real Instagram? Because if this is real Instagram, there's nothing else that needs to be said. It's over. Castrate him. It's a burner. How do you know? They found it. Who's they? Oh, like the feds said that this is his burner. Like, it's documented that this is his account. Holy fuck. So my question is, in one breath, we be saying the feds and the CIA, we be saying that shit like they're all control, but in the next breath, we believe, like, how do we know when it's like, you dig what I'm saying? We don't. To throw you off. FBI good, CIA bad. They don't fucking follow me, bro. Fuck out of here.
Alefantis captioned this picture, "Oh yeah, this looks fun," and then he went into the comments under his
I need
own
an article
post and
showing
wrote
that this is his
#murder.
Instagram account. I need
And
this
like
is
with
too crazy
everything
for
else
me.
here, this is
Like,
really
I need to
only
see,
barely
like,
scratching the surface. There are countless weird pictures and captions from the Jimmy Comment Instagram, and if we went through all of them, we would be here all day. There's this picture of a young child with euros in his mouth, and Jimmy Comment writes, #Karis James loves spending euros. There's this picture of
who
a
are these accounts commenting? That's quite an expressive face, so cute. Mind you, 250 weeks ago from the time this was posted, niggas don't really got like the bots like those to be in some random niggas with no followers shit. That's his money.
Karis James
Who are these
loves
humans?
spending euros. There's this picture of a baby doll holding a sign that says, "German baby, $1,200, please do not touch." Jimmy Comment writes,
Oh my god, he got verified.
"Way overpriced." There's this picture of a young child with their hands taped to a ping pong table. And in the comments again, someone else writes, #Karis James. Karis James seems to be a recurring thing referenced in Jimmy Comment's captions and comments, and it's really anyone's best guess what that could be. But coincidentally,
What's
there is a
Karis
small
James?
Caribbean island or island named Little St. James. That Caribbean island named Little St. James happened to be owned by a now very famous financier who
Don't
was
say
from New
Karis or
York.
something.
I'm sure
Oh.
you've seen that guy's name in the news recently. And of course, this
Look at his bio. Pizzas, ladders, light bulbs. What the fuck is light bulbs and ladders?
Named Little St. James happened to be owned by a now very famous financier who was from New York. I'm sure you've seen that guy's name in the news recently. And of course, this was who was from New York. I'm sure
There's people actually wearing like this nigga's drip. Like, you niggas is so corny, gang. I can't wait till y'all niggas fucking perish. Holy
seen that guy's
fuck.
name in the news recently. And of course, this was years before anyone knew what was happening at that island. That wouldn't come until 2019. Then people realized that Jimmy Comet's profile picture on Instagram wasn't a picture of him, it was actually a picture of a statue. Nothing weird about that, except that this specific statue was the statue of Antinous. Antinous was a Greek pubescent who got involved in a relationship with Roman Emperor Hadrian, who was in his late 40s, and he is specifically known as the Greek boy lover. Now, this wasn't seen as anything bad in the ancient world societal norms, but of course we look at that a lot differently today. And this easily could have just been a coincidence, but in the bigger picture and everything else being considered, it's not hard to see why it would raise.
So this nigga is the gay pedophile niggas like GOAT. That's their GOAT. Gay pedophiles look up to this nigga. This is a fucking GOAT. They be getting this nigga tatted on them type shit like.
Norms, but of course we look at that a lot differently today. And this easily could have just been a coincidence, but in the bigger picture and everything else being considered, it's not hard to see why it would raise some questions. And that's really what this entire theory is based off of. How many coincidences are you willing to overlook in order to believe the official narrative that there's nothing else going on here? Even if you think this is just a bunch of conspiracy nonsense,
how dumb.
it's not hard to see why so many people buy into
naive.
it. Because in order to believe there's nothing else going on,
gonna keep
you
adding.
have to chalk so many things up to coincidence.
But for me, that has to be just not knowing. I be seeing shit. I just assume like, oh, it could be true or it could be some conspiracy shit that niggas be talking about. But seeing all this shit niggas be talking about, and there's like a tie-in that makes sense, and there's it's like, yo, gay.
Files confirmed that a lot of beliefs/opinions held by people on all sides are social engineered/pushed by Jews. People's worldviews are deadass molded by these people.
Yo, is there ever gonna be someone of power and stance that come up and say, yo, fuck them niggas? You dig what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, yo, this side. We not even the enemy. We you know, we're not the enemy towards each other, my nigga. There's some other shit going on, nigga. There has been. They all die. JFK did and Kanye.
Just overlook them. The cryptic emails, the occult rituals being mentioned in the emails, the profile picture, the pictures posted on the Instagram. And there's also the elephant in the room of why is this man who is attracted to other men, so he has no kids of his own, spending so much time around so many different young children? Putting aside the weird context and captions of these pictures,
like facts.
Who even are these children? And clearly I'm not.
Fuck are these kids?
Context and captions of these pictures, who even are these children? And clearly I'm not the only one wondering that, because even Snopes notes how strange his Instagram was and how James Alefantis.
And chat, I always say this in every weird situation. Think about the shit that's not recorded, talked about, or documented that we will never know about. This is only the shit that we caught.
Well, gay people have spoken out, but then they end up missing, or get labeled as crazy like that lady with the TV show who got dementia.
Does not have any children, and neither do his closest associates. And they also note how it was privated only 2 days after it was found, so clearly he knew how bad this all looked. And they even say in this same article that PizzaGate is false and it's all nonsense and not real at all. So even they can't just overlook this. They have to address the elephant in the room and be like, yeah, this guy's Instagram page is really fucking weird, and we actually have no clue who these kids are. And again, that's overlooking all the other stuff. Even if we knew how these kids were connected to James Alefantis, the pictures would still be really weird. The context of them, the captions. But on top of all of that, this is a guy with a boyfriend, so the kids
your kids, you fucking a nigga. I don't know if they got technologies now. I don't know what they got going on now with the technologies and shit. I don't know if niggas give birth yet. But I know back then they didn't have those, gang. And what the fuck is on that nigga's face? Is that a nose? What is that? You trying to tell me this is a nose? What the fuck is this? What is that? What is that? I'm confused. The shit is that?
Clearly aren't his, and his closest associates and his friends don't have any children. While none of this is hard evidence of anything criminal happening, friends don't have any children. While none of this is hard evidence of anything criminal happening, it really does make you wonder what's really going on here, and that's a genuine question. I would love for somebody to explain to me how this is all very innocent in nature.
Sad part is this is literally the surface of it. Everyone you've looked up to is a part of a group you're not allowed in. Wait until you find out the history of Freemasonry, the religion, and the real history of the heroes of Black history, MLK, LeBron, etc.
You know what's crazy? When I was just 7, 8 years old, I was 8 years old, Greg used to dead ass like, I wish I had a dollar bill here. He used to be talking about shit like that. He used to be talking about the All Seeing Nine, all these rappers and shit. And like, he used to take the dollar bill and fold it a certain way. Like, yo, I used to think, yo, this nigga's a nut. I was like, yo, this nigga's a fucking nut.
On here than what we know. Speaking of connecting the dots, James Alefantis has this picture of Marina Abramovich posted to his Instagram. So at the very least, he's a fan of her work, which I would say isn't exactly normal. I don't think I've ever personally met a Marina Abramovich fan, and I think most people don't even know who the hell that is. James.
What the fuck was that hashtag, Gary? I'm not going back to it. I'm not getting mad. What the fuck was that? What was that hashtag?
James Alefantis also has connections to Tony Podesta, John Podesta's
Go
brother.
back.
Here they are.
Bro, it was I'm not going back. I didn't see. Okay, just think about a bundle of sticks. Or what Marlon may say, I'm trying to smoke a. You dig what I'm saying?
Pictured together in what seems to be some sort of campaign or fundraiser taking place at Comet. Doesn't really matter, but there they are. Okay, but that could just be a campaign. It doesn't really prove that they know each other, right? Well, here's another picture from the event that is much more candid, and it was posted to Jimmy Comet. He is literally brushing elbows with Tony Podesta in front of a cake, and side note, this guy is absolutely cheesing. Whether they know each other well or not, clearly Alefantis is very happy to be there next to Tony Podesta.
Nigga, they know each other.
This just raises even more questions, especially when you look into Tony Podesta's art collection. And that's a whole nother can of worms that I'm not going to open here. All I'll say is that if you look at this guy's art collection, it feels illegal.
Let me see.
It feels like
Let
I'm
me
doing
see.
something wrong,
What?
seeing it on my computer.
Wait, I don't want to see
it's
that.
all over this guy's walls. When I started researching this, I went in hoping to find answers to some of this.
Google
but
it.
It doesn't seem like there are.
You're not gonna show it
Everyone's
on.
very quick to tell you that this is all conspiracy and it's made.
He's not gonna show it on here, right? What's it called? Tony Podesta paintings? What the fuck? I'm getting out of here. I can't. No. I'm sorry. There's no way that's real? That's in his house? How? Like what? Like how? How's that like how do niggas just rock with like what?
Made up nonsense, and that very
Give us a word that describes it? Gang. Pizza orgies type vibe, like I don't know what I was looking at, gang. It was some shit. Bro, there was a fucking painting of a bed and a group of people like humanoids around the bed, and one person mounted on the bed and a little being under the person
Shout out
mounted.
Gary Caradori.
Mounted.
Died in a plane explosion with his son for trying to expose the OG Epstein rings before Epstein. The Franklin scandal.
What? See, I want to look into that too.
well might be the case, but nobody actually shows you where it's been disproven. Now let's
RIP.
talk about some of the symbolism that people have noticed, because I know I've said it a few times at this point, but it really does just get weirder and weirder. In 2007, an FBI document leaked showing specific symbols that predators use to identify each other. While looking at this document, people noticed that these symbols appear quite free used to identify.
Has there anybody ever been seen publicly with one of these shits? Yes. Let me show. Uzumaki clan. Bro. I ain't gonna lie, taking Uzumaki clan swag is crazy.
Identify each other. While looking at this document, people noticed that these symbols appear quite frequently in businesses, logos,
Yes, bro,
and
the
imagery
Pope is looking
of
it
not
up.
only Comet Pizza, but surrounding businesses as well. For starters, Comet Pizza had this Play, Eat, and Drink, or PED logo on their website, which many people believe was surrounding or PED logo on their website, which many people believe resembles one of these symbols. On the subject of Comet Pizza's website, the website was hacked in 2016, and the hacker shared an apparent members-only section. This members-only area was password protected, but when a password was entered, it brought you to a downloads page. On this page, you're able to download various large zip files, but each one requires a specific download key. Keep in mind, this is a pizza place. What could possibly be the reason to have a members-only section on the website with downloadable files available? And what is in these folders that is so exclusive that each one requires a unique password in order to be able to download it? And this wasn't some staff-only area of the website, which even that wouldn't really make any sense, but there were apparently 110 people in this exclusive pizza club. And again, once this came out, the entire section of the website disappeared, which really does make you wonder, why? It's already bizarre that it was there to begin with, but why was it removed once the public found out about it? Again, assuming this is all real, because I don't have a way to verify it myself at this point. It was apparently deleted 10 years ago, but why did they try to bury it? Why did they try to cover it up? What's there that they don't want you to see? While looking into Comet Pizza, some people noticed something peculiar about the logo of Besta Pizza, another pizza place in Washington, D.C., located only 2 blocks down from Comet. Besta Pizza's logo is literally the boy lover symbol from the FBI document. Of course, this could be a coincidence, but
Actual FBI document.
again, as soon as people started talking about this online and pointing it out, Besta Pizza immediately
You
changed
should
their
react
logo
to the
and
CIA
removed the symbol.
whistleblower video if you haven't.
Bet.
Could they have just genuinely not known this, and then as soon as people
A photo just got leaked of Kobe's dad wearing that logo.
start talking about
What? But the nigga just...
it online, they realize and change it? Yeah, sure. And to be honest, Besta Pizza was kind of put in a lose-lose situation, because if they ignore what's going on and don't do anything, people are going to point to the symbolism and say they're involved. But if they do something like change their logo, people are going to say, oh, well, obviously they did know about this symbolism, and now they're trying to cover it up. Some
Hey
people
Rage, first time stream and see you're getting into the files. I've been analytically researching for a month, and to make a long short, Rome never fell and the elites worship Saturn/Satan as well as money. Who, if you want more info.
Bro, y'all niggas
I
gonna
got
send me down.
proof.
Y'all niggas gonna change my brain. Y'all gonna yo gay. Y'all gonna send me to the rabbit hole, gay. Y'all gonna have me pacing around my house about everything. Y'all gonna start tweaking, gay. And I don't like that shit, bro. Cause that means everybody just choosing to stay fucking oblivious the whole time. There's demons like
Bro,
these.
think about it. We really live in the same planet as these weird fucks.
So how do you change it though? Like, what do you do? This is the most it's probably been on Front Street. People trying to expose it. But what more can Nick like? Aaron Yeager.
What?
It's not that we just live with them. They control everything.
I know you may feel a way about Sneeko. I don't feel no way about Sneeko. But we had a really interesting conversation on stream. I know you'd like to watch off stream. Bro, I feel like Sneeko has very good, interesting conversations. And then sometimes he has conversations I'm like, all right, bro. But then a lot of times he has really good conversations. And then Nick Fuentes is in my fucking face and shit. I'm like, okay.
Klein have made the claim that Besta Pizza, which is now closed, was owned by Andrew Klein, who worked with the Human Trafficking Prosecution Unit under Obama's Department of Justice. And if that was the case, it would be a glaring red flag and would make the symbolism in the logo being a coincidence.
I open the stream, I see his homeboy in a Ku Klux Klan fucking jersey and fucking doing monkey sound. Like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm tapped out, gang.
Seemingly impossible. However, doing my own research, that doesn't seem to be the case, and I would say that there's a very small probability that there's any truth behind that claim at all. The DC Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs listed Besta Pizza under the corporate entity Uptown Pizza Inc., and Andrew Klein is listed as a non-commercial registered agent, which means that he was a third party associated with Besta Pizza, most likely a lawyer, but definitely not the owner. I say most likely a lawyer because Veritas Law Firm in Washington, D.C. has an Andrew J. Klein listed as their co-founder, who's been representing business and real estate clients for over 30 years. And from his picture, he's visibly a different person than the one associated with the Obama administration. If you ask me to point to one part of this whole theory that I think is most likely to be just a coincidence, it would be this part. And I really do think that these two men are just both named Andrew J. Klein. But who knows, maybe the lawyer isn't a real person and he's actually a honeypot designed by the deep state in order to make the whole conspiracy more easy to delegitimize. I don't think that's likely, but crazier things have happened. Just across the street from Comet Ping Pong and Besta Pizza is a French restaurant known as Terrasol Gallery. And again, just like Besta Pizza,
what's the symbol?
as
Show me
soon
the
as
logo.
people started talking about this logo,
Bro, you might have walked by someone that does this type of shit. Really think about it.
No, 100%. Even on a lower level, bro, you probably fucking met a cashier that's a fucking pedophile. You never fucking know. Everyday people or some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? I've always think about shit like that. Like, yo, this random person I probably interacted with probably at home on some weird shit, and you just never know.
I mean,
This
like
teacher
500k
is probably a
children go
fucking
missing
freak.
each year. You really think the government isn't in on it?
500,000?
online, it vanished from their website. They were put into the same lose-lose situation, and again, people took this response and action as an admission of guilt. And again, if there weren't so many other coincidences, I don't think that people would have harped on this point so much.
Argument.
But there are so many other coincidences, and people can only lend you so much credence. Also on the Terrasol website was a picture of Hillary Clinton there, and I will not comment any farther on that. She was there,
let's
though.
comment on that
Hillary
bit. What the
Clinton
fuck?
there.
Of course she was. Of course she was. Of course she was.
And I will not comment any farther on that. She was there, though, and that's a
Statistically, there are a couple pedophiles in this chat right now.
Statistically, my chat is average teenagers.
Statistically, someone in chat is on this type of timing.
Why did two people just say that?
pretty strong endorsement. The food was probably really good.
I'm 33. Yo, okay, you're not helping the case, gang. Chill. But you are right, Dono, and that's why statistically, that's why I thought one of my homeboys was gay, because it was like 6 of us, 7 of us. 4 of us wasn't getting no bitches. And that's why we sat down in a circle to see who'd get bricked off gay porn. It only lasted 10 seconds because we got up and said, okay, we can't do this gay ass shit. But if we're going by statistics,
you should look up the furniture company Wayfair and child trafficking.
Wayfair. My fucking couch in my old house was from Wayfair. A fucking ex cop that shit. Wayfair was her shit. It was having deals and shit, gang. It was like a fireplace for cheap as fuck.
Of course, people were also
Rage, do you think it's not crazy that people aren't rioting? They waited for the perfect time to release it so that it can get memed out. Look up Fall of Cabal on YouTube.
Yo, I need to make somebody needs to make a document of like topics that I need to deep dive into.
Check my chat logs for the pic of Kobe's dad.
What? Hold on, I gotta mute Donor for now. We gotta finish the video
at this time, and while there was no blatant symbology that was mentioned in the FBI document, people did find something strange. Now stay with me because this is gonna sound like a reach, and it did to me at first too, but people pointed out that the Comet logo features crescent moons similar to some depictions of Moloch. For those of you who don't know, Moloch is a deity from the similar to some depictions.
Okay, so now, with crescent moon, so where it gets here, that means every time I see a crescent moon, I gotta think of Moloch, or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Of Moloch. For those of you who don't know, Moloch is a deity from the Hebrew Bible strongly associated with child sacrifice. Some depictions of Moloch, especially later depictions, show him with a star on his forehead. And
why the fuck do this nigga got titties?
And 2 crescent moons around either one of his hands. I know this seems like a massive reach, but guess what old world god's name appears in an Instagram post by Jimmy Comet? That's right, in this post on Jimmy Comet's Instagram showing off some Christmas presents he received, if you zoom in on the bottom left, you can see the word Moloch.
What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? He got Christmas presents and Moloch was on that bitch.
Presents he received. If you zoom in on the bottom left, you can see the word Moloch.
That
is so strange. And it's not like it's in a book or anything either. It looks like it's printed out on a single sheet of paper. Personally, I've never received any sort of gift, especially not a Christmas gift, referencing Moloch or any other deity. Maybe this is normal and I'm
Wait till Rage figures out all the Balenciaga he owns. I don't wear, I gave away all my Balenciaga shoes. I haven't worn Balenciaga shoes in months. Yeah.
Out of the loop or something, but to me that seems really weird, especially when you keep.
But the one piece of Balenci that I did keep, what the fuck is on my screen? Nigga wore a Balenci belt. Oh yeah, the belts I don't have no more. I gave away like half my closet, no cap. I let my homeboys go ravage that shit.
I'm just out of the loop or something, but to me, that seems deity. Any sort of gift, especially not a Christmas gift, referencing Moloch or any other deity. Maybe this is normal and I'm just out of the loop or something, but to me, that seems really weird. Especially when you keep in mind all the ties to—
Bro. I'm not even gonna say who this look like because it's disrespectful, but yeah.
The occult and Marina Abramovich, it's all just so strange, and when that's the best case scenario, when the best case scenario is that you do occult rituals and worship old world deities that are connected to human sacrifice, it doesn't exactly leave a positive impression on people. The PizzaGate conspiracy all coalesced into one incident that took place at Comet Ping Pong, and my good friend Mr. Pilled is going to jump in and give you the rundown on the entire event.
In 2016, a crazed lunatic driven mad by absurd conspiracy theories stormed into Comet's Pizza armed with a rifle. Totally incoherent and insane, of course, he starts firing wildly at everyone and hurts no one, and only destroys one very peculiar and convenient item. According to the official Department of Justice narrative, 29-year-old Edgar Welch did indeed walk into Comet's Pizza armed with a AR-15 and a revolver. Customers and employees alike fled, while Edgar himself remained inside of the restaurant for about 20 minutes. What was he doing in there? Well, he found a locked closet door, and he tried to jimmy it open. But when he couldn't, he decided to fire rounds into the door. After that, he didn't try and continue to get inside, he didn't break down the door, he stashed away his rifle and his revolver, walks outside unarmed, and is then arrested and sentenced to 4 years in prison. Now, what was inside that closet randomly that happened to get hit and destroyed? It was a computer, and everything on it was now gone. I don't know about you, but even before...
It's too many coincidences, chat. Same street, across the street, the symbols, all that, and out of all things, a nigga ran up in there one day and destroyed a computer with a rifle. Did not shoot anybody, did not rob it, just shot the computer up and then walked outside of it. Like, come on, that's actually like, come on, gang. What are we doing?
Looking deeper into it, even the official narrative is very weird.
How long ago was this? Where's Edgar now?
Way too clean for an active shooter event like this. Historically speaking, these are not so happy ending. Authorities claim that the AR-15 and the revolver were recovered inside of the restaurant, and then they discovered a shotgun hidden in his trunk with some ammunition. But one of the only eyewitnesses to this event, a lawyer in Maryland named Sharif, who was there with his wife and kids, claims that Edgar walked in initially with a shotgun. While this whole thing was going down, Sharif was making a series of tweets detailing the situation, while he also claims that Edgar stashed making a series of
Yes, I was playing ping pong with my wife when he walked in. I didn't touch the police. I took a photo of him being arrested. I was there when a gunman came in. I think he was trying to stash a shotgun in the back to use later on. Guy was shot couldn't under
tweets detailing the situation, while he also claims that Edgar stashed away the shotgun potentially for future use. In the official narrative, it does describe Edgar stashing weapons away for potential future use. However, my problem lies in the discrepancy between what kind of weapon. And that's because you don't have to be a firearms expert to tell the difference between a shotgun and an AR-15. They're very distinct. They have very distinct profiles and silhouettes. Anyways, get this. Edgar Welch is an actor listed on IMDb. Now that alone would be just a crazy, weird coincidence, right?
This some Lee shit, gang. Lee, tighten up, boy.
Right, but his father, Harry Welch, owns a media company by the name of Forever Young Productions. You can't make this shit up. Father, Harry Welch, owns a media company by the name of Forever Young Productions.
Like, AIM couldn't write a script better than this, chat. How are all these Cthulhu coincidences happening, gang? Like, come on, bro. Like genuinely. I beg to differ.
You can't make this shit up.
Yeah, this is a
That's
Call of
not
Duty
where the
script.
oddities end, though. Harry Welch is a creature in his own. According to his IMDb bio, Harry Welch is a very, very distinguished fella. Let's take a look at it. Written over 30 screenplays. He took up karate in his 30s. That's pretty late, pretty old to be fighting. And then went undefeated in 200 matchups. Wow. Holy moly. He holds 7 Guinness Book World Records for one-armed, one finger, and one fingertip push-ups. Very impressive. Not only is he a physical specimen, but he's got a soft side too. He served as a foster family to 3 different children and is an avid animal lover, being a rescuer of animals for 30 years.
He's a
rescuing
fucking hero,
tigers, jaguars,
He's a
leopards,
fucking hero.
servals,
He just had the
and
best
operating a no-kill
fucking
shelter for
bibliography
dogs,
of all time.
housing up to
Fucking
55
hero.
at a time. They have found forever homes for over 300.
Just to hide the
so sweet.
fact that he's probably
Things start
fucking-
to get a little bit more serious, though, in his bio, saying he worked on federal, state, and local task forces fighting the war on drugs. Served 5 years with the Rowan County ABC Police. Side note, the ABC Police, I don't know what that is or what that stands for, because I couldn't find any information on what the hell
what the fuck is that?
ABC Police was.
What is that?
Stakeouts, watching illegal stills, patrolling the county for suspected bootleggers, even working with the ATF. Gross. Even the President of the United States in 1988, Ronald Reagan himself recognized the excellence of Harry Welch because he hand-selected him and 15 others to check out various military installations. even giving them national clearance and letting them check out the Cheyenne Mountain Nuclear Bunker, which is a command alternative for NORAD. That's big boy stuff right there. Why would goofy old Harry, owner of Forever Young Productions, need to explore a nuclear bunker? However, I think the weirdest highlight was one that stood out mainly because of the context. Served as executive director for Protect a Child, a national nonprofit organization to prevent abuse and abduction of children, appointed by Governor Jim Martin to the Governor's Commission on Child Victimization. In conjunction with this story and this conspiracy theory, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But what's weirder is the fact that this Protect a Child organization doesn't exist. At least I couldn't find anything on it. So as far as I know, this doesn't exist. So why would he put it in his bio? That's about as far as it goes for Harry Welch. I couldn't really find anything else, but I want to bring this back to Edgar because his story's not finished yet.
Bro,
so I like to remain skeptical when I dive deep into these subjects. So that way I don't get sucked into that I want to believe mindset, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think that's pretty easy. I was asking
Easy as
myself,
fuck.
if
More
he was
people are
really a part of this conspiracy, what would he gain from destroying that computer? What would be his motive to do that? And looking into Edgar's past, I think I found a fairly reasonable potential answer to that. See, previous to the charges that landed him a 4-year sentence after walking into Comet's Pizza, Edgar had struck a 13-year-old child in a reckless driving incident. And as a man who had previous DWI charges, he was facing a pretty serious sentencing. And if we're playing with the idea that some very powerful people needed a scapegoat or a way to get rid of some evidence or a way to maybe suppress these conspiracy theories that were making their ways out into the public, then I think it'd be a no-brainer if he was left between the choices of leaving his fate and his freedom up to the court system, potentially facing much harsher punishment, or, you know, walk into this pizza joint. Don't hurt anybody. Don't do nothing too bad.
Shoot that cabinet. You get 4 years, all this goes away.
Destroy this computer. Get 4 years, you know, fairly light, and then be on your way. Have your previous charges nullified. It's a good deal. I'd take that deal. Just some food for thought. Well, to finally wrap this chapter up, Edgar didn't even get to enjoy his freedom because 5 years after his release, in January of 2025, Edgar was killed in a officer-related shooting after a traffic stop. Apparently he pulled a gun on officers, and no one knows why. Sounds a lot like a loose end tied up to me. But what do I know?
Big thank you to Ethan or Mr.
We got the body cam on that? Like, he just like... Let me see the body cam footage on that. I want to see the whole interaction, what the cop was saying, all that. Drop that shit. There's none. The body cam probably killed himself. Yo, what?
Pilled for jumping in and going over that whole section. He's a really great dude. I've known him for about 5 years now, which is crazy. Time flies. But he makes really good videos. If you like the stuff that I post over here, there's a good chance that you'll like a lot of his content as well. So I'll leave a link to his stuff in the description and in the comments. Go check him out and tell him to post more often. He did a really good job, so I don't feel the need to yap too much about this. But again, just so many coincidences that you have to overlook.
To be honest, why not kill him in prison though? Yeah, and wait 5 years after. That's the type of shit I'd be at. Kara, good question. Maybe, but we don't know. Maybe everything was good, and 5 years later, I don't know, niggas nutting. They probably just didn't trust that he'll keep shit quiet or some shit. She's kind of probably getting aloof. They got to type any loose ends like, yo, shit kind of crazy. We got to take this nigga out. I didn't mean to say nutting.
What are the chances that this guy is facing serious criminal charges before he decides to do something like this? It's not impossible, but it is a little bit weird. What are the odds that this guy, who happens to be an actor, decides to go into Comet with a rifle and do something like this and nobody gets hurt except the computer is destroyed? That's pretty convenient.
The nigga went in
No.
Maybe he didn't even know there was a computer there. It was just a cabinet. He just shot that bitch up.
was just a lunatic. Crazy people do crazy things all.
My biggest thing, I was thinking like, okay, maybe he was trying to rob them niggas. He thought the cabinet had a stash of money because he's a jeweler, so he tried to shoot it open, and that's just not how shit works. And that is like the biggest.
All the time.
But there's too many.
But again,
too many coincidences, gang. Like I can't even like.
With everything else taken into consideration, it gets harder to ignore these oddities in the story. If it was just a few weird things, it would be much easier to say people are just drawing lines and connections where there really aren't any, and it's all just one crazy conspiracy theory. But when every single beat of the story is filled with these coincidences, it gets harder and harder for people to just
This bit was cool, but it didn't get deep like at all. It goes way further than this.
Any of this is real. Maybe the official story is 100% true, and this really is nothing more than a conspiracy, and none of these things are connected at all in any way. But in the court of public opinion, you're going to have a really hard time convincing people of that. The human brain is designed to recognize patterns, so when seemingly all of this stuff is connected, you're going to have a really hard time convincing people that that's not the case. That pretty much summarizes the entire theory, or at least everything that I can cover here in a reasonable amount of time. The whole thing goes so incredibly deep that I would never be able to cover absolutely everything. If this does interest you, I highly recommend going down the rabbit hole yourself, because there's just an endless amount of theories and speculation online. But before we go, here are a bunch of other coincidences that I stumbled across when researching that I couldn't really fit into the main portion of this script. First of all, Hillary Clinton, who is seemingly very tied into this whole alleged scandal. She's very connected to all the people who are directly involved. Well, Frank Giestra, a member of the Clinton Foundation Board of Trustees, who's donated over $100 million to the foundation.
This nigga look like he drinks fucking blood out of a wine glass, gang.
Helped fund the Al-Qaeda project.
Look at the symbol, look!
Project focused on raising to the foundation, helped fund the the Al-Qaeda project, a project focused on raising the living conditions of refugees. And the logo is literally the exact same as the symbol mentioned.
So it's a coincidence that the Al-Qaeda project got the same fucking logo as the fucking boy lover shit.
In the FBI document for Boy Lover. The Besta Pizza logo was pretty on the money with that same symbol. This is literally just that symbol. It's exact. It's not even a different color. It is just a giant blue spiraling triangle. Another person connected to the Clintons is Laura Silsby, the founder of New Life Children's Refuge. She went to Haiti in 2010 to help rehome orphaned children after the catastrophically destructive magnitude 7 earthquake. What a kind-hearted woman, right? Surely she would never traffic children. Well, guess what? She was caught by Haitian authorities smuggling 33 children on a bus across the Haitian border into the Dominican Republic. She was doing this without permission from Haiti, so illegal. And then when she was detained, it became quickly apparent that most of, if not all of these children weren't even orphans. So she took essentially a class full of children, took them away from their families, and then tried to flee the country and cross the border. Well, she was held in Haiti facing charges of conspiracy and child abduction until Bill Clinton stepped in and got her charges reduced to arranging irregular travel. She served a 6-month sentence in Haiti and then was returned to the United States. And fun fact, this
Gang, what the fuck? The bitch dead took 33 jits. She just took 33 jits. And got 6 months?
woman who tried to smuggle children across the border away from their families has since changed her name to Laura Gaylor and has since been given an executive role at AlertSense, the company that provides the delivery infrastructure for Amber Alert. You know Amber Alert, the shit that pings your phone when a child goes missing? Yeah, a woman who was tried for child abduction is working for that company as an executive. That is so awesome. And then when Monica Peterson, the assistant director...
I'm done with it. I'm done. There's no fucking way, gang. There's no fucking way, gang. What the fuck are you talking about? What are we talking about?
At the Human Trafficking Center in Colorado began looking into the Clintons' involvement in Haiti, she was
You got a fucking position with Amber Alert, but my homeboy got you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 1 month, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Can't get a job at Publix? Because of background check? But he been kidnapping children, getting fucking, what? Amber Alert!
is so awesome. And then when Monica Peterson, the assistant director at the Human Trafficking Center in Colorado, began looking into the Clintons' involvement in Haiti, she was found dead. Of course, this was ruled to be caused by her own volition. Haven't heard that one before, right guys? And then there's one more slice to this story, and one that has largely been forgotten as time has moved on. It's something known as Cheesy Bay. This is the last time you'll hear me say this here, but I'm not asserting that this is true, and you should really take this last part with a grain of salt because it relies heavily on unproven claims. On April 21st, 2016, a Reddit throwaway account posted the question, why would there be 30-something Wi-Fi networks apparently coming from underneath a concrete pad? The user says that they had recently been working on a semi-urban farm property in Honolulu, and he then connected the man who owned the property to an eBay account selling faulty computer parts for ridiculous prices. The eBay accounts allegedly belong to a man going under the aliases Biff Skipman and Dave Flintstone. Someone apparently managed to hack into his emails and found correspondence with Sasha Lord, a DC area mentor for at-risk children, and also the event organizer at Comet Ping Pong. Now, the reason that I specifically mentioned that you should take this part as a grain of salt is because these emails were never fact-checked or verified by any government agency or third-party source, unlike the Podesta emails, so we don't even know if these are true. But allegedly, this eBay seller and the event organizer at Comet Ping Pong had been put in touch by a person named Richard Windsor. Who is Richard Windsor? Well, it happens to be a known alias for the Environmental Protection Agency administrator Lisa Jackson, who is also a Clinton Foundation board member. This part is true. She was caught using the fake email name Richard Windsor for who knows what, right? So it was already known that she had been communicating under the alias of Richard Windsor. So it's very plausible that people online already knew that she was communicating under this alias, and then they added this alias into this theory or story to kind of make it seem more credible. But coincidentally, Dave Flintstone, the man who was apparently running this eBay account, also happens to be the name of a man who founded a distillery in Hawaii. If you remember, OP said that they had been working on an urban farm area in Honolulu. This bag from OP's pictures also resembles a bag that Dave Flintstone has been photographed with. And there's one more email from the Podesta leaks that I haven't mentioned to you yet. Man, I miss you. The next 3 months are going to be rougher internally than in Beijing, between 7th and 1600. No fun. Hope you're doing okay. I'm dreaming about your hot dog stand in Hawaii. This
See, I'm over here learning about the truths of the world. I glance over to my chat, and the first thing I see, I know this is off topic, but Happy Duke Day.
email was sent from Todd Stern, another Democratic donor and a person tied in with the Clintons. That seems like a weird thing to say. I'm dreaming about your hot dog stand in Hawaii. Well, this is a very recent revelation, but in April of this year, a man named David Flintstone, who is a resident of Hawaii, was arrested in Colombia for soliciting a minor. Upon responding, the officers found the 60-year-old foreigner in the company of a 15-year-old. Initial investigations indicate that the man had arranged an encounter with her worth 1 million pesos. The David Flintstone that was arrested in Colombia also happens to be the same age as the one who founded the dispensary. They're both 60 years old. For whatever reason, the man's face is blurred in the article, so there's no way to tell for sure if this is the same person. But if these are two different men, article
same build, looking like white, same age, Flintstone, Hawaii, coincidence?
so there's no way to tell for sure if this is the same person. But if these are two different men, that is a wild coincidence, because they would have to share the same first name, the same last name, be the same age, and both be from Hawaii. And even though the man arrested in Colombia had his face blurred, they do vaguely resemble each other, especially in the body structure.
Type.
As of right now, like I
bro,
said,
it's that nigga, bro. Not no coincidence. Stop it. We know it's that nigga. Stop being like it's that nigga. Stop being too nice for these niggas. I know you got to, because you feel me. I respect that. I respect it.
That these
but
are
it's
the
that
same
nigga,
people,
gang.
so
It's
we'll
that
just have to
nigga.
wait
It's him.
and see if anything else comes out. But those odds have to be like 1 in a billion. That is crazy, especially in Hawaii. I just looked it up, and the population is under 1.5 million people, so it's a very small state.
There's more niggas in fucking Broward and what the fuck?
Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Please let me know in the comments what you think about all of this, because I'm very curious to hear what you guys take away and what your opinions are. Do you believe the theory? Do you think that it's all nonsense, or is the truth somewhere in the middle? Again, thank you so much for watching, especially
even if the
you
truth is somewhere in the middle. The fact that you're in the middle of this? No.
all the way through. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and go check out Mr. Pilt's channel. The link will be in the description and in the comments.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. Y'all cooked. It doesn't stop here, gang. We're gonna go down more rabbit holes as these days and weeks progress. I'm sorry. It's gonna be part of the desktop days. We can't be blind, gang. I know ignorance is bliss, but I ain't trying to live in bliss if it means I'm retarded. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Can't do it. Walking around the world blind as fuck like these. Whole time there's niggas like this. Oh yeah, by the way, YourRage is not suicidal. YourRage, I'm not suicidal. I don't have suicidal thoughts. It's about how sad I am about anything. I don't care. I would never kill myself. I'm not suicidal. I've never been suicidal.